Hey guys, so this is my general intro for the videos that I'm making after the full moon in November. This is for the rest of November. Don't know how that full moon was for the rest of you, but it was super intense for me. It was a Taurus full moon. I'm a Taurus sun, and that full moon was on my sun. Oh my god, I found it very intense. Felt like a two-dimensional person for about 4 days. But as all energies do, it passed. So grateful for what it was and for what I have learned, which was plenty actually. I did quite a bit of journaling and thinking. I just did a lot of thinking. Anyway, but I'll just do a quick general intro around like astrology of the moment, and then I'm going to get into the individual readings left, which are all of the fire signs and they're all of the air signs and one fire sign. So the astrology, so Mercury is still retrograde in Scorpio. Man, it's an intense retrograde, I have to say. Apart from all the usual Mercury retrograde issues, technical issues, travel issues, miscommunications, people sounding more abrupt, or tone being off, your tone being off, you being misunderstood, things like that. We have, it feels almost like a personal attack. Like what I've been saying in other readings is that, Mercury is all about chat, communication, gossip. He's a social butterfly. Mercury just wants to run around the zodiac and chat to everyone. Chit, chit, chit. How are you? Oh my god, isn't this so much fun? And move on and do his own thing and keep moving. And like Scorpio is the deepest of the water signs. Scorpio rules like the deep, deep ocean, parts of it that haven't even been explored yet. Nobody knows what even lives there. And when you put Mercury into Scorpio, where he really doesn't like to be, what I've noticed in people and in myself, which is why I'd say part of that full moon was so intense, because it was also directly opposite Mercury retrograde. Yeah, Sun and Mercury were standing on top of each other. But yeah, so people's thoughts are spiraling. People's thoughts are taking a bit of a nosedive and going weird places. The thing is, the only thing I can say is, like, even though it's very uncomfortable, we are supposed to do work on our shadow side. All people are supposed to be doing work on their shadow side. And when something is brought up to the front of your mind, or, weirdness kind of climbs out of your subconscious, like, it's best that we look at it and deal with it. Because that's what we're supposed to be doing. So, yeah. And what else is happening at the moment? So what I've just been trying to, say to people is, like, 2019 astrologically was a tough year. And 2020 is also going to be a tough year. And the reason I'm saying this is because I like to know when the astrology is funky, so that at least if I'm in a really weird headspace, or if I think everything is going wrong, or if I feel a bit like, what's going on here, it's the energies of the sky affecting us. And it's not just me. Like, that makes me feel better, There's a huge conjunction coming January 2020. If you watch any other astrologers, I'm not an astrologer, but if you do, they're all talking about this massive conjunction between Saturn and Pluto. Like, it's the end of one cycle, starting of a new one. It's happening in Capricorn, so that affects, like, society, global structures, governments, things like this. But all of that energy trickles down and affects us all independently as well. And depending on where Capricorn falls in your chart as well, it affects everyone differently. But that is a very intense conjunction. And, I'm of the opinion that we've all chosen to come here, and we've all chosen to come here at specific times in order to experience whatever it is we came to experience and learn. But, times are hard at the moment. 2020 doesn't show much of a let up with regards to how it feels, but what's actually happening is massive transformation within us, and that is very uncomfortable. Spiritual change is very uncomfortable. Spiritual growth can be very, very uncomfortable. It can be very lonely. It can be very confusing and trying and hard and depressing and angry. Like, honestly, I've been speaking to a lot of people recently, and people feel down, man. And, that full moon brought me there a little, like, quite a bit actually, like, just down, and like, the only thing we can do is look at what we are doing to help our mental health. Now is not a time to relax into or not relax, but it's not a time to, you know, sink into crutches like alcohol, weed, food, staying indoors all the time, you know, constantly on your phone, playing games, watching movies. Like, all of that is very, very unhealthy for people's mental health. What we should be doing is exercising, going outside more, eating really well. You know, like, when times are tough anyway, we really have to look after ourselves. Like, really, really, really. And, you know, like, I don't exercise. My exercise is poor. I walk everywhere, so I'm like, oh, at least that. But it's not good enough. And, you know, I hurt myself last week because of it. There was a warning sign from myself to myself that if I don't start doing something on a much more regular basis, get my heart rate pounding and get my muscles flexible and working, you know, I'm going to end up hurting myself, because that's what happens. You know, and it's also with mental health as well. Anyway, I don't want to get off point, but the astrology is tough, so we need to look after ourselves. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get into the tarot card readings now, guys. See you in a minute. Okay. Hey Aries, how you doing? What's going on? How you feeling? How was your Mercury retrograde and your full moon, the full moon? They were intense, huh? Yep. I know all about it, don't worry. So this is the tarot card reading. I'm going to jump straight into it. Just do a quick, as I start every single tarot card reading, with a quick little prayer. So, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael. Please come, please bless and cleanse this space. Please bless and cleanse this space. Please bless and cleanse this space. Please bless and cleanse the cards. Please bless and cleanse the crystals. And please bless and cleanse me. Thank you, Archangel Michael. And also, I send peace, love, cleansing, blessing, and some sanity to my Aries out there. So Aries, what's happening? I'm going to have a look at what's going on for the rest of November for you guys. And hopefully we'll get something interesting and connecting from the cards. So cards, Aries for November 2019, please. Aries, November 2019. Aries, November 2019. What does Aries need to know? What's been going on for Aries? You know, how best can we move forward now using the energies that have been around us and the energies that will be around us for the rest of the month. The last week of November is a positive week, you know, astrologically, so just keep that in mind. It's been very, very tense, but the last week isn't too bad. This week isn't too bad, actually. There's nice things happening. So, Aries 2019, Aries 2019, Aries 2019. So, oh, Aries. Okay, so fact is you've been feeling very out in the cold. I think you've been fantasizing a little bit, dreaming about families and how you want things to be, and they're not that way at the moment, and you feel quite disillusioned as to the lack of familial love in your life. And I think as well that you feel very unsupported maybe by family and unsupported by the people around you, but I would think that you might need to reconsider how you're seeing the situation, because I would think that because both of these cards state that actually you have much more support around you than you think you have. It could be to do with money as well. You might be feeling like broke, and that's getting in the way of you having a nice time with your family and having a nice time with the people around you. But you know, money is not everything, man. Like, people want people around them. Like, obviously it's nice to have money to spend to do things. I mean, we all know that money is joyous and it brings joy, and like it does, I don't care what anyone says, it allows us to have a nice time. But you know, also just going for a walk with someone is really, really pleasant. Just being able to sit with someone that you really get on with and have an excellent chat you know, that's also very, very powerful. And it provides you opportunity to connect with people and allows you to see that you don't need money to bring in all of your joy. Okay, people around you can do that, and choosing human connection over worrying about the fact that you don't have enough money in order to bring the person somewhere to connect with them, like, I understand people worry about money, but that's not where the answer lies. The answer lies with actually connecting and choosing to connect with your heart open and, you know, with love, like with your family and the people who are close to you. Also, you know, if you're feeling emotionally left out in the cold and emotionally like you don't have a lot to draw on at the moment, including with your relationships, I would think that you're wrong, and I would think that if you did turn to your family, they would have a lot more support for you than I think maybe you think they have at the moment. Yeah. And if you are feeling sad now, like, better times are around the corner, you know. Connect with some children, man. Connect with some children around you. Connect with nice people. I mean, the fact is, we've all been feeling that Mercury retrograde. That was very intense. And that full moon, which was on top of the Mercury retrograde as well, all happening in Scorpio. Full moon was in Taurus. Like, that's a very... Scorpio rules death, you know, endings and new beginnings, rebirth, death and rebirth. Rebirth is the important part there, but, you know, in order to be reborn, something has to die. And that energy is very depleting, and it's very hard on people's heart spaces. You know, it's an empty feeling, and it's a feeling of like, is this ever going to get better? But fact is, everything changes, even bad feeling. You know what I mean? Nothing sticks around forever. Even the good things end, but, you know, bad times end too. And what the cards are saying to you is that you have more support than you think you have, and a lot of it is based around family. And that you have the potential, this is what the cards are saying here, you have the potential to create a much happier family experience for yourself, and like family, not just experience, but I can't think of the word. Yeah, experience, whatever. Like, if you feel like your family are, you know, there's someone over here and there's other people over here and there's other people over here and there's other people over here, like, you actually have what it takes to draw people together. Like, this is the 10 of Cups, that's what that energy is. You have what it takes to draw these people together and draw them into a more loving connection together. But you have to move out of this, like, energy that is feeling out in the cold, you know. Like, I have to say, a lot of the 5s in the tarot represent as well, like, feeling sorry for ourselves. And there's a, you know, a certain amount of being victimized. And, like, it's not my fault, someone else needs to fix it. You know, maybe it isn't your fault, but maybe you still need to fix it, you know? Or maybe it is your fault and you need to fix it. Like, you know, a lot of people like to blame other people when really what they need to be doing is looking at themselves in the mirror and looking at their own reflection and looking at their own lives and seeing what they did wrong. Because we all do things wrong constantly. You know, but the tarot is stating that you have more power in the situation than you think, and you certainly have more power to affect the environment around you and who you surround yourself with. And I believe it's familial here because it's the 10 of Cups. So, yeah. If you want family around you, man, go and find them. You know, bring them together, invite people for dinner, invite people to sit close to you, you know, invite them to, yeah, to just be together. People don't want money, they want love, you know, they want love. Okay, Aries, you've been feeling a bit sad. Okay, so what else? How can Aries move forward? What else does Aries need to know? Okay, so there's been an energy of, like, I feel like you've removed yourself from the situation because you've been feeling down. You're like, do you know what? I'm having nothing to do with any of this. This is all, Like, it's got nothing to do with me. This is all other people, and I'm standing back, and I don't even care. Even though you do really care, because it's actually making you feel very empty inside. You're like, no, I don't care. I'm done. I'm finished. But I have to say now, because the Four of Cups has come out underneath the 5, like, this is a card of feeling out in the cold, and this is a card of needing to, I can't think, guys, sorry, needing to foster an attitude of gratitude. You know, you should definitely be trying to get more into this energy, which is the King of Wands energy, which is much more fiery and active and passionate, and like the King of Wands is an outstanding family man. He has a lot to give, love-wise, financially as well, you know what I mean? But it's a love and energy and vibe and charisma. Like, he's got it all going to give to his family. And the King of Swords, the guy who's pulling back now and saying, you know what, I'm going to look after myself. I've got nothing to do with any of this. None of it's my fault. Like, no man's an island. If we isolate to the, what's the word? I love solitude, but too much solitude leads to isolation, you know, and this is a no-no. And that's what the King of Swords does. He pulls back from people. He's not an emotionally available person. This can be a woman as well. He's not an emotionally available person. And he's very logical. Like, he's too logically minded, really, sometimes. He wouldn't be the most joyous person to be involved in a relationship with. And this energy of pulling back and saying, you know what, I'm having nothing to do with any of it, is leading you to feeling more depressed than you realise. Like, you think it's helping you heal, but it isn't. It's doing the complete opposite, and it's isolating you. It's making you feel out in the cold and feel like you don't have any support. But like, genuinely, you couldn't be more wrong. You have people all around you, and I know that family can be very annoying sometimes, and they can be in your way, and they can just wreck your head, and they, you know, they cause drama, and you have to listen to them moaning. Like, I understand all that. You know, to really choose to invest ourselves in our family can be exhausting sometimes. But you know, the King of Wands is the energy really that you should be looking to become now. And he is much more involved. He's so involved, actually, sometimes he's too involved. But like, you know, better that than sitting on your own feeling really depressed because, you know, you feel like someone else should do it, or you feel like it's not your responsibility. Why isn't it your responsibility? Why? Like, maybe it's entirely your responsibility. Even if you feel you've done enough, maybe it's still your responsibility. Maybe that's one of the reasons you came into this world, having made the deals you've made, the soul contracts you've made, was to help draw your family together. It's one of mine. You know, that's why I say it. So, and sometimes I'm sick to death of it. And I think, God, I really just don't want to be the one now to take control of the situation. But you know what? Like, not only if I don't do it, who will? But also, like, it's my family and I love them, man. And, you know, you want to be involved with these people. So, you know, you're stuck in your head. You're very stuck in your head. You're all alone. That's how you feel. All alone, and you're really stuck in your head. But you're not looking at what's going on around you, because what's going on around you is much warmer and much more enjoyable and much more supportive than you think. I'm not saying it's perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. Don't even work towards perfection. It doesn't exist. You know, families are messy. Families are chaotic. Families shout at each other. Families love each other. You know, I love looking at families like with their kids, parents with their kids, and the way they all slouch on the couch together, and it's all, you know, it's just very natural. And they're all like hanging off each other and whatever. And then, you know, 10 minutes later, they're all shouting at each other and don't do that and go over here and do this. And like, that's families, you know, it's messy, it's honest, it's truthful, but it's very joyful as well. It's very joyful. So I think, to be honest, Aries, you're taking a little bit for granted. And you're definitely in your head way too much. I can feel it. And even me saying this to you, you're like, no, forget it. I'm not doing it. You're in the wrong. Like, fine, do that. But, you know, your energy isn't going to change then, and you're not going to feel any better. Stick to your guns if you want. Stick to your I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it my way because I want to. Like, you can do that if you want, but there's very little happiness at the end of that. And honestly, you do need to start fostering an attitude of gratitude, because I think you're taking things for granted, especially if you're watching this and you're saying, no, that's not me. I'm not doing it. I'm in the right. These people owe me something. Other people need to come to me. Other people need to fix it. You know, then I'm specifically talking to you. I'm specifically talking to you. You need to do it. Because it will just make you happier. Doesn't matter why you need to do it. Doesn't matter that you do it. Doesn't matter that you did it the last time. Doesn't matter. You'll be happier when you choose to connect more fully with the people you want to connect with. And it's your family. So do it, man. Do it, do it, do it. This is interesting. This is a very different reading to a lot of the other readings I've done for November. I'm sorry to be checking my time, guys. I just really don't want to go over. I really don't want the videos to go over half an hour. Okay, good reading so far. You've got much less homework than the other videos, you know, like, I think Gemini and the other one before that, Aquarius maybe, got some serious work to do. And I'm Gemini rising, so like, I got a lot of work to do. And it was all really serious. Like, this is serious as well. I'm not saying it isn't, but yours is about committing yourself to your family. Like, you know, committing yourself to opening your heart and loving people more. Like, good for you. Do it. And the thing is, you're Aries, and it's the King of Wands who came out. So, and this is the guy who represents all the fire signs. Like, this is who you naturally are. That's the thing. This energy, I understand that we all go here as well. I like, you know, this isn't about judgment. Everyone gets to this point where they're like, no, I'm having nothing to do with it. Like, it's not my fault. We all go through this. But then you have to be able to say, do you know what? I don't care. It's irrelevant. I want my family around me. I want love. I want joy. I want happiness. I want all the nice things that come with having a family that are well connected to each other. You know? So, yeah, and this is who you are naturally. So get back into this guy. You know? Charisma, warmth, friendliness, funny, interesting. You know? Driven as well. And successful. Like, that's the thing. If you're stuck in your head worrying about money, and if you're stuck in your head worrying, because that's what's going on here, there's a lot of worry as well. If you're stuck in your head worrying that, you know, it's not going to work out anyway, so why should I do it? Well, that energy is being stuck in the mud. Like, once you're stuck there, you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? So who would choose that? And it's not progressive. Whereas if we go with the King of Wands, like, that's a very progressive energy. You know, and it's understanding that your own happiness is in your own hands as well, you know? You want to be happier, you have to do it. This is my favorite thing to say. I say it every single video I've made. I'd say, nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. It's your life. You need to fix it. That's all. Your life, you need to fix it. So fix it. Harsh. Ouch. Yep. I know. Easy. No. Still has to be done. And this is interesting because these 4 cards as well, they add up to 11. 6, 10, 11. And 11 is the master number of the builder. So like, if you can pull yourself out of this worry and this, you know, kind of self-victimizing way of thinking, and move more towards into the going after what it is you actually want, like genuinely giving it the energy and doing more than an Aries do. Aries are great for starting things, but they don't finish things, you know what I mean? So once you're aware of that as well, you can use that to your advantage. I have a bit of that as well. You can use it to your advantage. So, you know, just commit to doing everything that you can in order to make yourself better. And these numbers, yeah, adding up to 11, like you can build something beyond your wildest dreams. This is my favorite thing to say because we have no idea what's out there for us, but we have to go at it. We have to go after it, first of all, with a heart full of passion and drive and want and ambition. And we have to fight for it, man. You have to fight for what you want. This world that we live in, God knows why we decided to come here, but we did. But it takes fight. You know, it takes fight from the depths of your soul. It does. Like, I know that. And I know you know that. You know, and you still have to put up with all the stupid nonsense every now and again, minor conflicts, tension, things you don't want to deal with, things that just get in your way, rude people. Like, that's life. That's life. Suck it up, get on with it. You know? Yeah. And you do need to foster an attitude of gratitude. I mean, if you have a family at all, aren't you lucky? There are people out there with no family. I can't imagine what that would feel like. I genuinely can't imagine what it would feel like to have no family, no support network, no people to have your back, even no family. I mean, you know, they don't really ever have our backs in the way we want them to, but that's life as well. But at least, Jesus, I can't consider what my life would be like if I didn't have family. Like, it just makes no sense to me. I don't think I would have survived, you know? So if you have family at all, you're already doing so well. So remember that. Be grateful for it. You know? I'm going to see if there's any more cards, Aries, but this has been a very good reading and there's been good advice here, so maybe this is it. Do we have anything else to tell Aries? We clearly do. Do we have anything else? Do we want another card to go with that? Ooh, nice. 2 major arcana. So I think people watching this are like a little bit not too pleased maybe with what they've heard, and you're all like, nope, still not doing it. You know, not down to me. We have the Hermit and the Wheel of Fortune, 2 major arcana, the first major arcana for this reading out, and they represent fated life events, major things that need to be changed. So, or that need to be lived, you know. So the Hermit is a card of looking inward, card of meditation, looking inwards, stop focusing all of our energies outside, slow it down and turn it in so that we can look deep within our hearts to see what it is we actually want out of life, and to help ourselves, kind of our own inner light to burn brighter. You know what I mean? Like when we are feeling down and victimized and depressed and like we're in a heavy headspace, it's very hard to look to the future with positivity, or to even look to the future with any kind of clarity as to what you would like to actually do, because, you know, energy like this is just very depleting. But the Hermit is saying you need to, this is a cycle as well that you need to end. So we have, so it's a cycle that you need to take responsibility to end. And you can start doing that by turning your gaze inward to your heart, and, you know, be a little bit nicer to yourself as well. Say, okay, I've had a hard time. Okay, my heart is hurt. You know, life's been tough. I've had a hard time and I'm raw now and I'm sad. That's okay. But it's time to stop blaming other people, and it's time to look at what I now can do to improve myself. Because we have a snake here, so once you do start looking inwards and you start really being much kinder to yourself and kinder to your heart space, and understanding why you've been feeling so sad. You know, everyone's allowed to feel sad. You know, it's going to give you wisdom to move on. Wisdom and bravery, Black Dog. You know, the bravery to step out of this kind of loop of being cold-hearted, feeling like you have nothing to offer others, and then removing yourself from loving situations and feeling sorry for yourself. And like the world owes you a bit of a living as well. Like, none of that's true. Sorry. So yeah, the Hermit. So time to look in, time to put an end to this cycle. You're the only person who can do that. Yeah, and it's time to trust yourself. You know what I mean? A lot of people just don't trust themselves. They don't believe that they're worth anything. They don't believe that things are going to work out for them. They don't believe that they're worth investing in themselves. You know what I mean? Like, you have to invest in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are worth it. And if you're not going to invest in yourself, who is? Like, you know, we all have to learn to love ourselves. I actually think that's one of the reasons we all come here, is to learn to love ourselves, and I think it's the hardest thing that we can learn. I was going to make a joke, but I won't. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. The 10th card is the major arcana. The Wheel of Fortune, great card. Like, this is very interesting to me. This is super clear. It's an easy reading, if anything. The 10 of the Wheel of Fortune is major arcana as well, fated life events, and it's a change of fortune. change of luck. Like if you did the inner work, if you first of all, you need to see the pattern that you are repeating, which is this King of Swords, cold energy and self-pitying energy and a bit of an obsession with money. Like you need to use the Hermit energy, you need to look in and you need to start ripping down these, weeding out these toxic ideas and focuses that you're not doing well and that you don't have enough to give and you're not good enough kind of thing. Like that's, you are good enough, you have plenty to give. If you have a loving and open heart, you have enough to give. You know, that's genuinely my opinion. But you need to look inward and do the work, and you have the potential here for such happiness. I mean, like, not perfect happiness. I like that about the tarot. You know, the tarot always likes to remind, especially when I'm doing the readings, because I think I can get a bit carried away with everything will turn out okay. Like, everything will turn out okay. You will be a much, much happier person, and you'll also be much more focused and much more capable and much more able to be included in the society that we all need to be included in. You know what I mean? Like, you absolutely have what it takes, but there'll always be minor irritations. I mean, like, life isn't perfect and it's not going to be perfect. So, but we know this. We are grown-ups, we know this. But then the Wheel of Fortune, like, super powerful card. Super powerful card, and it's about luck changing in your favor. You know, but only if you do the work. Like, these aren't the only cards that came out. These came out. Work to do, these are the rewards that we get. Work to do, rewards we get. You know? And the universe will always reward us in the end, but I'm of the opinion that we need to do 51% of the work. The universe expects us to work, and they expect the universe, whoever, expects us to do 51%. Then I believe the universe will rush in and meet you with the other 49%. Coincidences will start occurring, like things will be magnificent and amazing and so interesting the way things just come together. But you have to do the work, and all of the work, in my opinion, as well, starts on the inside. All of it. And it's tough, guys, looking at ourselves, looking at our dark side, at our shadow side, and saying, you know what, I do act like a victim. And I can stand back from situations and be like, no, I'm not having anything to do with it. And I do worry too much about money, and I do put too much importance on money. And I'm going to attempt to stop doing that. You know, and I'm going to start, my first step will be by telling my mom how much I love her. You know? Yeah, it will be like, maybe you could sit down, I'm trying to think now, King of Wands energy, you could sit down and make a plan for how you really want your future to look. You know what I mean? Like, there's work to be done. But Aries, you have what it takes. Aries are driven. You're focused people. Well, you're excellent at starting things. And sometimes that's all you need as well. You know what I mean? You just need to kickstart it. Because if you really start involving your family, getting the love sorted there, getting things sorted, like, that will have a knock-on effect. You know, it'll affect other people because families love to be brought together. And it'll affect your vibration as well. It will raise your vibration, which will leave you open to new and better experiences in life, you know? Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Aries. I hope this was helpful. I know it's a serious reading. I don't pull any punches, and I don't hold back. The tarot is a serious tool. If you come looking to the tarot for advice or guidance or information, you will get it. That's all. You will get it. I wish you the best. Have an excellent rest of the month. Try and do some work, because this is very unhappy energy that you're in right now, and the only person who can change it is you. Like, that's a fact for everyone. The only person who can change how we are feeling is ourselves. Nobody is coming to save us, ever. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to do it for you. You have to do it all yourself. That's a fact. Okay, Aries, like, share, subscribe if you would like to. Have a wonderful evening, please. Send me a comment if you feel like it, and be good, you know, become the King of Wands. Okay, see you later, Aries.